Alright, so basically, welcome back. What I did is I came back outside, I hit this, I went down. Last time when we went down here, it was locked, now it's not. So,
yay.
So with that, we're back at this room, which I know what to do. So you can tell your story, which Cole has a fucked up story again.
Yeah.
Which is good.
So, I don't remember exactly how old I was. I had to be around 13. No, it was before 13. I was in middle school.
I'm glad you can remember shit because fucking you're carrying this series.
Yeah, like I said, I told Tyler off recording, I've always believed in ghosts to some degree.
And I do too. Like it just not only is it interesting, it's just like it's comforting in a way.
But like, so my cousin used to tell me all the time that, and I mean like it wasn't just something that would scare a kid. It was something that I think would scare anyone. He used to tell me all the time that he would wake up and someone would be standing beside his bed and staring at him. And he told me that he was haunted. And I believed him. And even to this day, to some degree, like I'm much more skeptical than I used to be, obviously, because I've learned over the years. But I will try my best to believe someone until they give me a reason not to. And of course, he's my cousin. I trusted him. So he used to tell me stories all the time about how he was haunted and like stuff. This ghost, I don't even remember what he explained it was, but he'd tell me he was like afraid for his life and the spirit was following him. And then one day he told me that he went up in his room and found a piece of paper that had my name scribbled on it over and over and over again. And then when he turned around, he saw the spirit walking down the stairs. And so he told me that it was coming for me. And I slept with a Bible under my pillow for probably about 3 months.
What a cock meat.
And I remember praying every night about it. And I remember, when I was alone, that I could swear that I could hear something or see something. Yeah. And it was awful. And it was an awful way to live. And I lived that way because my cousin and the only reason I know about it is because one day he told Cody about it because he thought it was hilarious. And Cody told me.
Wow. Fucked up.
Cody relieved me from that hell.
Of the not great young, like me and my brother are on decent terms now. I mean, I love him.
Yeah.
He's fucking tight. But like back in the day, we weren't on great terms. We just fucked with each other all the time.
Yeah.
And like with that, I don't know. I guess I could have just shot the thing from there. I don't know why. Yeah, I could have. That would have been easier. Anyways, like I'm surprised that I don't remember him fucking with me with some way like that.
Yeah.
Like.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I was a dick to my cousins, too. It happened. Like, I remember there was one time I went over to my cousin's house. I think this story is legitimately funny. He was playing, like, the original Spider-Man game for GameCube. And he always had games that I wanted. And I was like, hey, you're going to have to give me that game one day. And he goes, what do you mean? And I was like, one day. You're going to have to give it to me. He goes, no, I'm not. I was like, it's going to happen. And I remember him going, no!
Like you've broken into his psyche, and he believes it. And he believes that he's going to have to give you that game. No, that's great.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I hated playing games with my cousin. It was awful.
I always, I don't know if there's any... Oh, fuck. Now I got to go all the way around. This sucks. I've done this the hard way, but that's okay. It's my fault. I've always wanted to play games with my brother. He never wanted to play games. And then whenever I did play a game with him, he'd be dickhead. So, I guess, vice versa for us.
Yeah. Man. I remember, playing games with my cousin and him, this is my little cousin. And he would reach over and, hit my controller so I'd mess up because I was beating him.
What the fuck thing to do?
Yeah, I know. I hated it. It's I remember that being one of the last times I ever played games with him when we were 6.
I do. One of my happiest things from childhood I remember is I guess it was during the summer. I'd be waiting for my dad to get home. My dad would only get home around 2 or 3. Even earlier than that. He's construction, so he gets out there early before the sun gets up and comes back whenever it gets hot. But it's always been his way of doing it. But I would wait until it gets off, and he'd come home, take a shower, and then we'd play Mario Kart 64. And it's just good memory.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Mario Kart, just because of that memory. It's just such a nostalgic. No Mario Kart, no matter how much shit you put in it, will ever make me feel the same way that Mario Kart 64
I think
does.
I didn't experience 64 till later in life, but I think 64 is fun. It's like really fun.
Makes me feel so good. That and Smash 64. Like Smash 64, such a fucking broken game.
It's really fun though.
But man, it just brings such a good anything 64 really. But those two.
Well, that's why I feel about Digimon Rumble Arena. I can emulate Digimon Rumble Arena to this day, and like it's not like it. Well, no, it's really fun. Like it's just a party platform fighter, and it's not complicated. It's really simple. But God, I remember going over to Cody's house and we would just play that game. It's so nostalgic to me.
I was gonna run around here, like, get squeeched.
I remember getting into a fight with one of my best friends when I was little because he said Digimon was better than Pokemon.
I mean, it's very objective.
And now I like half agree with him.
Yeah.
I love Digimon now. It's one of the biggest parts of my college life.
I don't know what's... I mean, you can't really say one's better than the other. I mean, yes, I guess from a success standpoint, Pokemon's miles ahead of Digimon, but like, they're both kind of their own thing, really.
Yeah, I love both of them.
I mean, Digimon, the way Digimon Evolve and Digivolve is so much different. There's this one.
Yeah. Wow.
I feel like some of these are mimics or something. Like, these all can't be fucking good. I fucking hate this game. I can't carry that. I can't. Give me... I mean, I could go buy a bigger wallet, but I'm not gonna.
I mean, you don't even buy anything, really.
I don't ever buy potions, so... I just hate getting rupees and they're just going in the dick hole. Oh my god, these are all gonna be fucking big. I mean, they all are so fucking. No,
I can remember a few times when I was
the rest of them are gonna be fucking
that I was just a little wiener. Like I remember, there was this kid that lived across the road from my grandmother's house.
This is a horn. I'm leaving.
And I'm not gonna open the last one.
Might as well go kill myself.
And I really liked him, and we planned where
I tortured the fuck out of him.
We planned where I could go spend the night at his house, and I stayed at his house until like 9 o'clock, and I was like, I'm gonna go sleep at my mama's.
What?
I just left him. He was like, okay.
I had a couple of my friends were younger than me. Did I jump on the top of these? Maybe. Oh fuck. Oh my god. I did. It just scared. A couple of my friends were younger than me.
Yeah.
And I remember like one time I invited one of them over, and his mom was like, he can't come over because he's never really been over to anyone's house. It's just not something I don't think he's ready for. And I was like, that's weird. And then like a week later, she was like, I put some thought into it, and I think he can come over this next weekend.
I remember parents being that way. It was Austin.
And no, it wasn't Austin. Austin. I didn't.
Oh, you said it's awesome.
No, I was like, oh, it's awesome. Oh, the story wasn't over, but I'll say
okay.
I didn't meet Austin until like I didn't really become friends with him until high school.
Oh, okay.
But he came over, and I was like, this is awesome. I mean, I've had friends over all the time. I can't believe you've never had a friend over and stayed the night or anything. Like, yeah, I'm really excited about it. And I wake up next morning. He's like, man, I pissed all on your bed. I fucking pissed everywhere. No, I didn't think he told. No, he didn't even tell me. I sat down on my bed, and it was wet, and I was like,
oh, God.
I was like, okay. And he was like, yeah, man, I'm sorry.
Oh,
and I was
man.
And I was like, it's okay, man. It's cool. Accidents happen. And I mean, he still came over after that, nights after that, and it never happened again. But that was like the first time I was like, man, I'm sorry that this is happening to both of us right now. This isn't fun for me because it's pissing my sheets, and this isn't fun for you because it's awkward as shit. So I'm real sorry.
I remember one thing I was little, like, by far my older cousin, who's just directly above me, the one that I didn't get to see very often. I've always been closer to him than any of my other cousins. And one time he came to my house and spent the night.
Bye, little dude.
And one of my biggest flaws when I was little is I was probably the most selfish, bratty kid when I was little. And the thing is like, I know that I was selfish and bratty because I was used to being alone. But at the same time, when I was little, I realized that. So when kids would be like, you're being selfish, I'd be like, I'm used to being alone.
Yeah, you just tell them.
So that was just worse. So one time, like, Because I can avidly remember this. I think I went to the bathroom or something, and I came back in my room, and my cousin's playing Pokemon Stadium on my Nintendo 64, and he looks over at me and goes, Cole, like, it's nuts that I can remember exactly this. He goes, Cole, how do I use Squirtle's moves? And I just shut the door and walked out, and then went and sat in my mother's car outside.
Wait, were you at? Okay, you're
I
okay.
was just upset because he was on my Nintendo 64. But I remember walking away. He goes, "Hey!"
That's really funny.
I was such a brat.
If I had someone over who fucking sat down on my console, like, I would fucking like be so excited to fucking share that with someone.
Yeah, like, I mean, now I would.
Yeah.
I don't know how I made it so far.
I don't remember ever being. I mean, maybe I was selfish, and I think I probably was to an extent. But if it was a game console and someone wanted to try it, I usually like lit them because I was like, I enjoy this, so why shouldn't?
Until I was like 7 or so, I was a horrible child.
Yeah.
I know I was.
I don't remember not enough, but I remember pretty well that I think that if anyone asked me if they wanted to play one of my games, I would fucking let them even take it home and borrow it because I was like, if I like it, and I should introduce this shit to you.
Yeah, until I was like 7, I had a really bad case of mine.
The munchies. I don't think I was that way. I may have been, but I don't think I ever was.
I definitely was. I'm not proud of it.
I need to go back up and deactivate the tower.
Such a totally different person than when I was a child. But I mean, I was a child, so.
I mean, I'm sure I was selfish about something or other, but
I was very, very selfish with my things. So, like, I remember going to my cousin's house and he wouldn't let me play games with him. I'd be like, I am your guest.
Yeah.
And then he'd come over to my house and he'd go, but I'm the guest. I go, it's mine!
okay.
I was an awful kid.
Maybe that's why they don't talk to you. Fuck him.
There was a point in time in my childhood that, like, my little cousin started trying to get into things that I was into, and I hated it.
God, why?
I hated it.
I don't understand
well,
why.
like, he would try to copy me and stuff, and, like, you know, mimicry is the highest form of flattery. Like, it's all he just wanted to be more like me. But when I was little, I hated it.
I would have loved it, dude.
I hated it.
I would have.
I remember telling my mother about it, and she was like, "Why?" And I was like, "I hate it."
I had a friend who's still. I mean, you know him kind of. It's Tanner. Don't say anything about him right now, but you might know him a little bit. I don't know if you talked about him before.
Yeah.
But like when we were kids, we're still good friends to this day, and we were good friends then. But he'd always like say I was copying him, and he'd get so pissed off. I'm like, dude, I'm just your friend. We're into the same thing. We both like Naruto. We both like to draw. Like, I'm not copying you. But he would always be so convinced I was. And I was like, I just want to share interest with someone. I just want to be your dude. Like,
Copying me, dude. What do you mean?
Like, it was very confusing to me. I was like, we both like Pokemon. I didn't start liking Pokemon because you like Pokemon. I just like Pokemon. It pissed me off, and I don't know. I like to relate to something. When someone you want to relate to is like, "Don't copy me," I'm like, ah! I just want to be your friend.
I mean, I've established it. I was a jerk as a kid.
That was.
I was a jerk kid who went through some traumatic experiences.
That was a very jarring thing in my. That's something I remember. If it's anything, it's my friend drama that I remember when I was a kid because it was just jarring.
I just want to be your friend.
I just want to be somebody's fucking friend, and they were like, "Don't copy me." I'm give it to fucking. And then fucking, I remember I had two friends. Okay, I had Tanner. And I had another friend named Ramsey that I met at Time Out because it was Time Out. And we were both there. And he was like, yo, want a piece of my fruit by the foot? I was like, oh, fuck yeah, put a piece of fruit by the foot. Badass. So he became my friend right then and there. And then I remember Tanner being like, I don't like him. If you're friends with him, you ain't friends with me. And I was like, you fucker. You fucker. I'm going to be friends with everybody. And then eventually, I think now they're very good friends, actually. And now I'm not either of their friends.
You're not friends with me.
And then, now they're good friends. But, like, back then they didn't like each other. And I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Talk to each other. You have the same interests.
I remember when I was little, I used to think that every country, like every nationality, had a different version of everyone else. So I thought there was like a black coal and an Asian coal.
I mean, it's possible.
I remember going to my parents and asking them about it, and they're like, no.
No, it's not real.
They just shot me down.
I know one of my friends did draw people like a ball with like the legs sticking out, and then the head was part of the ball. So the torso, it was just this ball with a line through it, and then he draw the heads. I was like, how do you see people? What do I look like to you? What am I?
God, I wish these keys were just keys.
I mean, it's interesting, but I mean, you're right. It's weird. Oh, fuck me. I feel like the eye has to be present, right?
I don't know. I don't know why it has an eye on it.
Well, it's the octopus key.
Oh.
There we go. Ah! Next time!
Me now. Quit me.